everyone, I'm Shannon and I'm here to showcase one of my personal projects that I created just recently. And I wanna I I decided to record this for me to document this AI exploration journey. Also, I want to improve my communication and presentation skills. So to start, what to expect in this session is that I will be giving you a walkthrough of my app, what it does and how it works, and how I built it. I will also give you some quick details about my mental model when I was trying to create this app, and what are my thoughts during the creation, and lastly is what's next for this app. So to start, this app is named Goal-Z-Lla. Goal-Z-Lla is a savings tracker where if you wanna save for a thing you wanna buy, for example, a phone, you can use this to track if if you're achieving your goals. And I made this in a gamified way where savings goals are considered as quests, and every quest there's a levels, and every level has a rewards and so on. So to give you a walkthrough, uh, this app actually has an audio, so to make it more fun and less boring. So to start, this is the home page, and I have the get started leaderboard. So first, there's a login. I'll just input my username and password, logging in. So it will straightly go to the quest page where it shows the quest that you already have completed, and in case you have a pending quest, you will also see this. So every quest here, this is the savings history where it has an equivalent XP. The system decides how much XP per level you will be needing to earn. This page when you're creating a quest, so you just have to create your quest name or add your quest name. For example, I want to buy computer. Okay, let me just turn off the audio first. Okay, so new computer. Goal description. Let's say I want to buy my very first high-powered computer, and my target amount is, for example, 100,000 pesos in a span of, say, 200 days. So next is setting of levels. In this level, I already provided a predefined level, predefined rewards, because I already have these photos. So create quests. When you start create quests, it will generate AI prompts as reward metrics. So what it does is every level rewards, it will generate a prompt to be used for image validation. Later, I will explain why do we need image validation. Okay, so while this generates AI prompts, what I use as model here is that I use Llama using pre-trained models by Meta. So basically, I'm running everything locally. Okay, so we are seeing that the quest has already been created. These are the list of levels. And for us to move forward or to increase our XP points, we just have to provide the number of savings that we save for this. So let's say we save 10,000 pesos so that we can proceed to the level 1 completion. So okay, so it says level up, and this is where the photo validation I was mentioning earlier. When you level up and there's an equivalent rewards that you have provided during the creation of quest, you have to submit a photo where you have that reward with you. So upload validation photo. Then let's select a photo. So I'll be uploading a photo of me holding an empty cup. Okay, so when we click validate photo, it will validate using an AI vision model. So right now I'm just using Llama 3.2 vision. This is the multimodal predefined model from, I think, Meta. So it's an open source. Okay, so photo got validated successfully. So let me complete level. So it will mark as completed, and we will proceed to level 2 and so on. I also added some content moderation when uploading. When you upload a photo that is harmful to the audience, it will actually fail. Let me upload the photo first. Okay, so let's say we use this photo, throwing a bad finger, validate photo. So it's validating the photo. As you can see, this is my code base, and we can see that there's a moderation log, and with that photo it says the uploaded image contains harmful content, so it won't proceed to the next level. You have to provide a valid and safe photo that also contains the reward that you mentioned for that specific level. So let's check the moderation log. It says that reason has sexually suggestive gesture. Get rejected. So we can try to upload a proper one. Let me upload a photo of me holding a phone. The sticker, the person is posing with a cell phone in a relaxed, playful manner, conveying sense of casual use or interaction. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so going back to the quest, you can see that there's an ongoing quest. Then in here, this is the leaderboard. How the leaderboard works is that when you finish a quest, the system will give you a consent dialog box that if you want to share your achievement to the public. In here, I'm just trying to finish the levels so I can show you what's next when you completed all the levels. Okay, so it is validated successfully, and I just want to also show you that in the logs you can see 2 logs for that specific request. First one, the hierarchy is for the LLM to check if the photo is safe first, and then second, if it's safe, then it will proceed to validating the image with the given prompt. Okay, so I actually created a new class because I do not have a side up photo here. and I'm currently using the camera to record. So yeah, for this last level I already achieved, and it was already validated. Now it has here the photo and a checkbox. When you this checkbox is for the user to provide their consent that their photo and username will be posted on a public leaderboard for transparency. Actually, this system doesn't save any photos within the database or any records of your photos. It only saves your photo when you provide a consent that it will be used for a leaderboard purposes. So if we click this, complete and share on leaderboard, then here. So we can see in the leaderboard with the new Tumblr quest, this part here. So I have here 4 quests completed, and the recent one is the new Tumblr. So I can interact with my own posts, but if you're another user, let's say I'm gonna log in as different user. So let's go to the leaderboard. And here, new Tumblr, then I'll create my heart. There. So when we log out, go to the user that posted their achievement. You can see here new Tumblr, and you can see that there's 2 reactions from the community. And from the leaderboard, it also shows the number of reactions per emojis. Okay, so that's that for the main feature. And I also introduced this one feature where with my account I can see any bug reports. And this bug reports just a simple bug reporting feature where when I submit I can mark it as fixed or not a bug. Let's log in as C, then file a bug, report a bug. Home button is not working. So on first page, I clicked the logo, and it doesn't go to the landing page. Submit bug report. Okay, so I can see all the bugs filed throughout the system, but I cannot see who filed it. I cannot also reply. Only the developer can reply to the bug, and I can filter for bugs that I just reported, comment, and mark it as fixed. When I go to the list of bugs, then I can see admin reply, and that is marked as fixed. So when I go here as a non-login user, and also see that landing button is not working. From quest page, I click the logo, it doesn't look for checking, it's working. Okay. So it's the same with the one that filed the bug. Here, landing button is not working. Okay. So that's that for the features of Goal-Z-Lla. There is also some learn more about Goal-Z-Lla, where I posted what is Goal-Z-Lla, what Goal-Z-Lla is about. So this is a gamified savings tracking. It turns the boring savings goals into an epic quest. Earn XP every time you save. Level up through milestones, validate your rewards with photo, and climb the leaderboards. Okay, so this is also for flexing your wins or W's. setting your own rewards, compete on the leaderboard, track multiple quests. Some of the features. So features are AI generated validation prompts. So again, all those rewards that you put when creating a quest, once you submit it, it will generate a prompt that AI vision model will use when validating your photos. Vision model photo validation. So every time you level up, you should prove it with a photo, and the vision model checks the image, make sure the reward is legit. Content moderation. So I added this because what I have in mind when during the development is that if I'm going to host this publicly, I must make sure that no harmful contents will be posted publicly. So this content moderation, I made sure to add the context for the AI model, and also I allowed face coverings, mask, and emoji overlays with the photo submitted to protect or to respect the user's privacy. Just in case they want to share their achievement but they don't want to show their face, then it's totally fine. For the privacy, I also included here that photos are not stored and never saved anywhere. The only exception is your final level photo. The app will ask your consent to share it on the leaderboard. Only then it is saved on the server. There's also an option you can remove that photo. When you remove that photo, it will be totally removed from the system. What are the behind the scenes? I built the app out of boredom. It is pure vibe coding. The reason why I prefer vibe coding in this app development is that I want to focus more on how I will integrate AI in my system. Also, how I will be deploying this in a production server. So that's my main focus. The tech stack, it is built with Next.js, Nakama Game Server, PostgreSQL, Ollama, Docker, Google Cloud Platform. So that's that for the tech stack, and let's proceed to the last thing I want to share is that how I built this app. Okay, so the next thing I want to discuss is how I built this app. So basically, this app is built purely with vibe coding, and what I did is from my Visual Studio, I have here my Copilot, and then how I build my app is that I always make sure to prepare a high level description of my app. Next thing is features or objectives of the app, features and components, and some acceptance criteria. So it's like when you're building or when you're creating a functional specs document. So I always make sure that when I feed context or prompt to my Copilot, I always make sure to provide everything I needed, just like on a traditional software development. So let's say on a traditional software development, we have here a functional specs document where it has at least high level description of the app or overview. Then it has the objectives of the app, these features includes, let's say if it's a front-end app, then it must have like pages, text. That means I have to provide what text stack I want. So let's say I want to create this project with Next.js as the front-end framework. Use Nakama as the game service. Third is, for example, I want to Dockerize this app. So that includes in the tech stack. So if you have these details, you can use that as context for your Copilot. Okay, so what else? So what's next for this app is I want to focus on, or I want to deploy this in GCP, using GCP. I chose GCP because I want to practice more in infrastructure side using GCP, mainly using Vertex AI as the model that I will be using for this app. So for the GCP, if you can see, I also have the deployment guide with me, where I also feed the information I want to Copilot for it to generate for me. So the expectations is for the deployment, I want to use GCP. I want to use VM instance service from GCP. I chose this because this, out of all the options that I have, this is actually the cheapest one. So I was planning to deploy it in Kubernetes because I have it ready as a Dockerized app, but it's not that cheap. This is cheaper. So from VM Instance Service, I will also enable my Vertex AI API in GCP. And since this is within the same ecosystem, I will just create a service account that I can use I can assign to my VM instance, or I think project level. Yeah. So that I can just use the Vertex AI as is without any, I think, JSON file or the GCP account JSON file. So this is next, and I will also, I'm not sure if it's here, but what I will do is for the deployment, I have cloud for the infrastructure, Cloudflare, where I will subdomain for my personal website. This is source at them. So this is my domain, and I will create a subdomain using Goal-Z-Lla. That's source at them. That's all. Okay, and next is the game service. That's more. So right now I'm using Nakama, or from the Heroic Labs, where it will give you a ready game server, all the things you need for a game. However, when I checked how to deploy this, I have to provide a Nakama API key, which costs, I think, $400. So that's very expensive. So the next goal is for me to create a separate backend service, maybe a cloud function, where I will point it to my subdomain as game service. So, yeah, that's all. What else? Okay, my reflection for this first recording that I create, I think when I present, let's say during work or in my work, I always make sure I am ready. And for me to be ready, I have to make sure that I have the list of points I want to talk about. I have even a simple deck that I show during my discussion. So I want to also integrate that practice in my uh, personal sessions like this, so that it will not take that much time and have a structure, or I mean have a direction on what we want to discuss. Yeah, that's also not sure what's next, but let me know if you have any questions. Just message me, or if I'm going to post this on YouTube or TikTok, just comment your questions or feedbacks, or if you want to learn more, maybe I can start on that, and it will also help me practice my mentoring skills and presentation skills. So, thank you, and I hope there's more. Bye!